What is up, YouTube? Fly212 here, putting out another video. Getting tons of videos. I hope you appreciate it. From Rambo Ricardo. No, I love making videos, and I love interacting with some of the people that watch the videos. It's pretty cool. I find it interesting and fun. But I was reading about, I was reading articles, and if I die in this game and stuff, it's because I've had about 6 beers, so I'm pretty, I'm lucid. I'm not drunk, but I'm lucid. Anyway, you know, the terrible tragedy that happened recently, the shooting in Parkland or whatever, was in the high school where these poor kids died. And of course, Donald Trump, the dotard, the scumbag Trump, and the conservative media, and really the mainstream media, a lot of mainstream media. There were some media outlets that got it right. I'm glad to say that most video game outlets got it right, and the New York Times, which I've had some problems with the New York Times in the past. I read most of my news. I try not to watch TV, Jesus Christ. Mainstream media, TV news like CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News. And I used to read the Times, but they really became really pro Hillary Clinton. And I don't like Hillary Clinton either. I don't like Trump, and I don't like Hillary Clinton. They're both establishment scumbags, as Trump has proven, and is proven in this the articles I've read. So typical of these school shootings by these complete psychopaths that don't need to have weapons. I mean, clearly we need a mental health segment in the background check to stop scumbags like this cocksucker who killed everyone in this high school from having guns. Duh. And if you're crazy and you've had a chronic mental health issue, and chronic, I would define chronic mental health as a ongoing mental health issue in which lasts longer than a year, in which you are on medications from your doctor, from a mental health physician, from a general practitioner, whatever, of a year or longer for anything, anxiety, depression, whatever. You don't need to own a weapon, certainly not an AR-15. And that's common sense. That's most Americans, like 82% of us, want this. But instead of addressing the real issue, which is, I'd say it, and, you know, obviously if you've watched this channel before, you could discern that I know somewhat about weapons and that I'm fairly educated in what firearms are. Unfortunately, that's gun control, and we need better gun control in this country. But unfortunately, not saying that, the Cheeto-in-chief as we have, the idiot we have as a president, and not just him, but the Democratic establishment cocksuckers, are blaming video games. Our hobby, our way of life, for me at least, is a significant aspect of my life. It's been a significant aspect of my life all my life. I mean, not all my life, I shouldn't say that, but I have been playing video games since I was about 9 years old. And I'm not just saying Mario Kart or Zelda or whatever. I've been playing violent video games, as you would call them. I mean, I would call Quake 3 Arena fairly violent. I would call Unreal Tournament fairly violent. I've been playing them since I was about 10. And when I see our hobby, our lifestyle, our a thing that brings us joy and a thing that makes us happy under attack from these cocksuckers, the establishment douchebags who take massive amounts of money from the NRA, hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, blaming violent video games, quote unquote violent video games, versus blaming the lax gun controls and the violent culture that America, you know, prospers from, with the worshiping of the military-industrial complex and war. When I see them attacking something as benign as violent video games or violent movies or violent television, violent media, art. I have a problem with it. And I read a article from the mainstream news, cocksucker media, CBS News, saying, well, Trump is worried about violent video games, you know, just like a lot of people are, you know. Let's not talk about psychopaths being able to buy an AR-15 at 18 years old when your brain's not fully developed as a male. It doesn't fully develop until you're 25. Look it up. Let's not talk about that. No, let's talk about the violent video games, the really violent video games. And then they went on to talk about, you know, the dumb cocksucker who killed all those poor kids in Sandy Hook, the little kids, that piece of shit. I mean, I would blow that dude away for free. I mean, pieces of shit like that who kill little kids don't need to live, and they don't need to breathe the same air I'm breathing. And that, yeah, it's a little extreme, but that's how I feel. And his mom, who sounds like a complete fucking idiot, and he killed her, but she sounds like a moron, was stockpiling ammunition because she was a prepper, you know, a crazy prepper. Because in the event of total atomic war, in which the Russians have somewhere between, we don't know, it's like 6,000 and 12,000 nuclear ICBMs with yields upwards of 20, 30, 40, with multiple reentry MIRVs, okay, that we couldn't stop. That your stockpile of some AR-15s and a couple hundred rounds of ammunition are going to save you from nuclear winter. I mean, that's the type of people we're dealing with. They're fucking completely retarded. So, you know, his mom, this cocksucker, his mom had the weapons in this. The guy who did Sandy Hook is what I'm talking about. And that's what this article was about. Part of it, they went into Sandy Hook. He got the AR-15 from his mom, who was stockpiling ammunition for some reason. Because she's a prepper idiot. You know, he played some violent video games. He played Call of Duty Black Ops, the most popular video game of all time. I mean, Call of Duty Black Ops, when it came out, was the most popular video game ever made. Back in 2010, 2011. It sold like 25 million units. It was the most popular Call of Duty. It broke every single record you can imagine. It was the most popular video game ever made. And it still is one of the most popular video games ever made, Call of Duty Black Ops 1. You know, instead of talking about how 30 million other people played it, and they never shot little kids, they go into violent video games. You know, violent video games cause all these problems. Violent video games cause all these psychopaths from, you know, killing people. You know, these psychopaths who are complete losers, completely fucking pieces of shit, can't function in normal society, couldn't even make it through high school, complete cowards. No, it's the violent video games that make these scumbags go kill people, not that they're fucking complete pussies, cowards, pieces of shit, and shouldn't breathe the same air that normal people breathe. No, it's these, it's the video games. This isn't anything new. They talked about this when Columbine happened. They talked about it when the kid shot up Virginia Tech. You know, ooh, it's the video games. It's the video games. You know, you had Hillary Clinton. One reason I didn't vote for Hillary Clinton is because she was with Jack Thompson, always talking about how bad video games were. She actually had a bill when she was a first lady, wanting to really monitor games and really go after them, you know, on a hardcore way. Thank God it didn't pass. But she's, you know, real nanny state. And Trump's sound like he likes the nanny state too, because it gives him more power. It's all that douchebag likes is power. So I read this article and I was just thinking to myself, God, you know what? They're still coming after the video games. They're still coming after our little, it's not little anymore, but our form of preferred entertainment, and something that makes, you know, tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of people happy. And I'm completely honest when I say this. Without video games, my life is significantly worse. And And I think most gamers feel this way. Most gamers that play a lot of games, and I would say playing a lot of games is 25, 20 hours a week or more. You know, multiple hours a day. I think most people that play that much would tell you video games make their life better. And it makes my life better, and it makes my life at times bearable. And I'm not unique. I'm not unique in any way. Video games are an incredible. They're incredible. They're an incredible phenomenon. I can't really quantify it in one video or in a thought process with live gameplay. I would have to like think this out. But video games are something that they just make you happier. I can't really explain it. And this game is incredibly violent. What I'm playing here, Killing Floor 2, and it's a great game. It's an independent game. It's a really good game, but there's tons of great games. And a lot of them are violent. I would say most of the great games are very violent. I mean, look at the greatest games of all time, in my opinion. Here they are. Half-Life 2, The Witcher 3, Knights of the Old Republic, Mass Effect 2, Zelda Twilight Princess, Battlefield, Bad Company 2. Those are the greatest games of all time, in my opinion. Halo, Combat Evolved. Every single one of those games, with maybe the exception of Twilight Princess, is incredibly violent. So, I think that these people that are coming after video games, in this article, and I've been reading about what Trump's been saying about video games, like, he's thinking, well, there needs to be more studying done. There's already been enough literature and enough academic research and academia done on this topic. And every behavioral scientist, sociologist, social psychologist has come to the conclusion that video games don't cause people to go crazy. And it's simply not true that they make people go crazy. Okay. And sorry, my mic popped, but it keeps popping. And to see the mainstream media, this is another reason I can't stand it, but to see them like actually question that video games cause these psychopaths, these scumbags, to kill innocent people, kids mostly, is really disturbing. And it hit me at the core that we still have this conflict, that there's still a significant portion of our media and of our politicians, our leaders, our lawmakers in this country think that video games actually cause violent, psychopathic shooters to kill mobs of people, and not mental health and the ability to access military-grade assault weapons. And it's amazing to me. It's just, there's a lot of dumb shit about America, and there's a lot of great, amazing stuff about America. America's mostly amazing. I think this country's always been great. And even though it's had a severe, not a downturn, that's not the right term, but you know, our quality of life shouldn't be where it is. Like, we should have universal health care, we should have a living wage, but we're still a great country, and we're still great people, and we have an incredible quality of life still, and we have great values, and most of what happens in America is good. Even though this country, that's why, like, the whole Make America Great Again thing was retarded, because I always thought it was. Even though we have great things, we still have a significant, I'm fucked up, significant portion of our country that is retarded. Like, these politicians that are saying that gun violence could exist, or not gun violence, but video game violence causes or is a factor in these psychopathic, horrible people that go and kill people because they're losers, is really disturbing to me. And we don't talk about what's really the issue, which is psychopaths able to access the ability to purchase an AR-15 at 18 years old, and the ability to purchase multiple assault weapons and thousands of rounds, and no one know. The FBI, the ATF, not give two fucks about it. That's the real issue. And you can call that gun control, you can, whatever, and it is, but it needs to happen. It's not the violent video games, okay? It's the psychopaths being able to get these guns. And it's very cut and dry. They just don't need to have these weapons. Seriously. Psychopaths don't need to have serious hardware like this. If you live with a psychopath, you don't need to have it in your home. I just don't I don't get it. The guy who did this shooting recently, he was 18 years old. He was 19 or something. He had a stockpile of guns and ammunition, and I'm looking at like, dude, at 19 years old, I was a freshman in college, and I wasn't. I mean, I was worried about just getting laid and having a good time. And I didn't have money or the funds or the ability to go buy multiple assault rifles and thousands of rounds of ammo. And I didn't want to. And I'm pretty knowledgeable about guns. Not to toot my own horn, but I know what I'm talking about. And it's a culture thing too, but it's also just, why would we allow this type of individual who gets expelled from school, who gets deemed a menace to society, not a menace to society, but mental health, he's by the state or whatever, like that kid in Virginia Tech, he had multiple instances of where the state was like, yeah, you're crazy, and he was still able to go purchase firearms. Why? What the fuck? And it's like these things could be reduced if you just had common sense. Like, just, I mean, I'm not for ever banning weapons. Like, if people should be able to buy what they want if they're not crazy and they don't have a history of mental illness. But when you have a history of mental illness, you know, you don't need anything. You don't need guns. You don't at all. You don't even need a bolt-action rifle. You don't need shit. You're crazy. I mean, I've always looked at gun ownership in this country as, it's a right technically, but I've always looked at it as kind of a privilege. You should take it very serious, and you should be properly trained. You should have hunter's safety at the very least, and you should have other things. You know, I mean, you know, we can get into that later, but I mean, I always thought of it as like a privilege to own a firearm. You should be a responsible adult. It's just these people keep getting these guns that are really crazy, and I'm just, I'm like, man, what the fuck? And then you see the mainstream media blaming video games. Trump talking about video games. I mean, it's like, what the fuck are you what are you talking about? I mean, I was 11 years old playing Quake 3 Arena, playing Counter-Strike, the original Counter-Strike. I mean, I don't get it. I just, there's just a lot of fucking idiots, and there's just a lot of retards, it seems like, in America with this stuff. It's like, and then they all get paid by the NRA, and, you know, psychopaths don't need to have guns. I just, cut and dry. People that are mentally ill don't need to have weapons. You don't need to have them. You know, I mean, I've never taken pills in my life. I've never. I mean, seriously, like, you should want responsible gun owners that aren't fucking weird. that don't suffer from depression, that don't suffer from anxiety or other mental illness, period, that aren't kicked out of school, that shit should all be on record. I mean, I wasn't a wild kid, but I was, you know, somewhat anti-establishment, you know, didn't like the rules, and I never got kicked out of school, or I was never deemed violent, or I never scared people. I mean, this guy that did Parkland, there were students saying, yeah, he was crazy. Yeah, this fucker can get expelled and then go buy weapons? I just, I don't get it. I just, it's like they want these horrible events to happen. It's really sick. It's really sick. Then they blame video games or music or movies or whatever it is. You know, I mean, and it's not just the Republican conservative idiots. It's the Democratic shills. You know, the Democratic Party is so garbage. I mean, you know, they're such a bunch of pussies. You know, I mean, yeah, they go along with it too. You know, it's just, I don't know. It's just, yeah, they're coming after our. I'll link the articles because I read a bunch and I had to make this video. I want to talk about it and say, you know, don't support people that come after our video games. Don't support politicians that want regulatory action on video games. They want regulatory action on video game control, but not gun control. Don't support, I mean, you know, seriously. I mean, it's like, it's just it's fucking retarded. Are there other countries? I don't think there's other countries in the world that have this problem. It just seems to be an American problem, and I'm just like, you know, we lead the world and everything else. Seriously, you know, we have 80% of the top universities in America. We're the richest country on earth. We develop nuclear weapons and technology. We have the greatest research and development on earth. We have the best military technology. We have incredible consumer technology. We invented the personal computer. We invented the iPhone. I mean, I'm just like sitting here like going, we lead the earth in everything that ever matters ever. Everyone follows us. Pax Americana all the way. And I'm sitting here going, but with this one issue of crazy people getting weapons, we can't have a law that goes, hey, you're crazy, you don't get a gun. I mean, it's just, I'm sitting here like, huh? I just think about it like, and I'm just like, I don't understand. I love this country, but I don't get it. I love the Second Amendment. It's great. The Founding Fathers were incredibly smart. But the Founding Fathers couldn't have predicted that you would have a weapon that has a cyclic rate of up to 1,200 rounds per minute that fires an incredibly lethal, if not small. I mean, the 5.56 or the 223 civilian variant, the AR-15, the cartridge that you know, the round, it's very small, but its lethality is incredible. You know, it tumbles in the body when it gets soft tissue. It's very accurate. It's incredibly fast, low recoil. The Founding Fathers couldn't have predicted that that weapon would have been invented, or, and this is the big one, that a psychopath would be able to go get it. Some idiot that gets expelled from school and scares people, or some retard that's deemed mentally ill by the state or whatever, has severe mental issues. He would be able to go buy an AR-15, stock up with thousands of rounds of ammo. The Founding Fathers, Thomas Jefferson, those guys wouldn't have been able to predict it. But here we are, just, you know, well, they should be able to do it because, you know, the NRA, and we're all bought out by them. You know, video games are the problem, not the crazy people getting the guns and lax gun laws. No, it's the video games. I just don't. We're the country that invented the automobile. We're the country that I mean, America's amazing. You look at everything we have invented. The modern world. We're the top dog, and I'm just like sitting here like, why can't we be the top dog about this? Why can't we go, yeah, you can own weapons here in America, but you have to be, you know, not crazy. And the NRA is the answer. And the big guns. They want crazy people to buy their guns. I guess. So. Speaking of cool guns, look at this Chris. This is still probably the best gun in the. Oh, that bitch was flipping. Flipping like a patriot. Yeah, I just had to make this video, man. They're coming after our video games. They're cut straight up. They're coming after our games. They won't go after the scumbag, bought-out shill politicians who sell our freedoms for money and are totally corrupt. They won't go after those scumbags. Oh, don't worry, this is video games. Don't go after the video games. I hope the video game industry lobbies and buys all these politicians, and then they show how fucking scum they are. I hate politicians. I really do. I think people that go into politics are the scum of the scum. I think they have no inherent value to society. I mean, why don't, you know, it's like, why don't we just have, like, good people, like, doctors and teachers and, you know, whatever up there in Washington, not all these lawyers that just are bureaucrats. I mean, why don't we have, like, real people that have a clue about how the world actually is and don't live in a bubble and aren't bought out by special interests? I mean, it's just, this article, man, really struck a chord with me, because I'm just like, you know, and the way Trump is, man, he really will go after video games. He really is a totalitarian type. He really is. And he really loves power. And like Bush, I remember when Bush was kind of like going after video games, but he kind of backed off a little bit. But Trump, I think, you know, it's just not Trump. It's the It's the Democrats too. The Democrats are fucking idiots. And they're fucking scum too. It's like they're all corporates or whatever, corporation-centered cocksuckers. I mean, you know, this has turned into a rant, but we should have affordable health. We should have healthcare for all. We should have Medicaid for all. Everyone should have healthcare in this country. At the very least, everyone should be able to go to a doctor, a primary care physician for free. You know, and everyone should be able to go to the emergency room if they're fucked up for free. An emergency room visit shouldn't cost 15 grand. Seriously. A gallbladder shouldn't cost someone $22,000. I mean, it's a 30-minute procedure. I've had it. Come on.
Time's up. Go kill some.
It's just like, we should have a living wage in this country. We have like 10,000. We have like 10,000 mega millionaires in this country and like 1,500 billionaires. This country is incredibly wealthy. Our government's incredibly wealthy. We have the richest government on earth. We should have health care for all of us, and we should have a living wage for people that work and pay taxes in this country. And we don't have this stuff. It makes me mad. I get mad and I get disgruntled with politicians here, and I just don't understand why it's so hard to do the right thing. I don't get it. Like, I guess it's the way I was raised. That, like, you know, if you can do the right thing, just do it, and don't like, I did the right thing. Like, aren't I special? Just be like, I did the right thing, and yeah, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, I help poor people because I can and I should, and I don't need to, you know, talk about it. It's something that I did. It's like you know, I don't know. It's just. They're just immoral. They're just an immoral bunch. You know, it's all about money. It's just, God. It's just like, fuck me, really? I don't know. It's just really. Jesus, look at all these. Look at all these zomboids. Jeez. He's not dying. Finally died. Oh! Invisible bitch hit me. Oh. These motherfuckers are just eating ammo. So yeah. That's my spiel. I'll link the articles that got me talking about this, but I guess my overall thesis about this is, you know, don't vote for politicians and don't want to protect our video games and our First Amendment rights. Just straight up. And you know, read some stuff and get informed and try to get involved in some way, you know. And hold them all accountable. Don't be a fanboy of either party, you know. Realize that the Democrats are just involved and chilling as the Republicans almost. The Republicans are still worse. Let's get real about that. The Republicans are still worse. But the Democrats still chill. And they shouldn't be. The Democratic Party should be the party for the people, the poor people. You know, the minorities. Like real minority issues. You know, like the prison industrial complex. Legalization of not just marijuana but drugs in general, ending the drug war. Those are real issues for minorities in this country that are completely taken advantage of. You know, and I'm gonna try to buy a rocket launcher here. I don't know if we'll be able to. Because we can't. We can buy that. It's a grenade launcher at least. Okay. But yeah, I mean, it's just I'm just disappointed in our politicians because they don't reflect the people. Because honestly, let me tell you something. Americans, the vast majority of us, are really nice people, and they're good people, and they have a strong moral compass. Most people in this country have a strong moral compass. But our politicians and the people that run this motherfucker don't. They're complete animals. I'm just saying. Like I mean, I'm an adult. I'm in manhood. And I'm still shocked by how just douchebags these people are. Oh, what's this? Whoa, he's a creature. He's got shockers. Oh God, this looks like it's gonna be tough. We're going grenade launchers on this cocksucker. Where is he? Oh, look how fast he is! Oh my God! Oh God! Oh God! Whoa! Oh! I wasn't ready. Dude, I'm not hitting him. Oh my God, you can take multiple grenades? Dude, this is nuts. Look at this. Oh my God. So yeah, that was the video, but we're going to finish out this wave, guys. Rambo Ricardo, Tier 1 operator. Here we go. Alright. Where the fuck is he? Uh-oh. Oh, it's real. Oh my God, is it real, people? Is it real? It's real. Oh! We almost got him. Throw grenades! Oh! Taking down my armor like nothing. I don't want to get too far away from the team. Oh. Oh my God. Oh. Oh. Oh no. We did it. We won. We won. We did it, guys. That was nuts. Let's see if I can get a good look at my character here. Look. It's a girl. I'm running. That was pretty great. Giant Slayer. Oh yeah, that's right, motherfucker. That's right. So, anyway, guys, it's this video. That was pretty cool. And yeah, I'll link the articles, and you know, that's just how it goes, I guess. You know, they always blame video games. They're always blaming the video games. It's always the subculture, right? It's always the and that's what the subculture is. It's still, even though video games are in the mainstream, it's still a subculture type of thing. You know, it's like, oh, you play games, you must be a edgelord, or, you know, it's just like, God, no, I just play games because they're cool. You know, they're cool. They don't make me violent. God, man, I've been playing violent video games since I was 9 or 10, and I haven't ever done anything remotely crazy. And all my friends are the same way. I'm hiccuping because I've been slugging the beer, people. I've been slugging the beer lately. We'll play a little more. I don't know how long this will go. We'll play a little more. I don't know when I started this game. I didn't time it, so. What level am I? Oh god, you level up slow in this game. I want to play Commando, but last time I played Commando, these fucking idiots started fucking up. These motherfuckers up in this bitch. Blaming video games again, man. Same old, same shit, different. Oh, sorry. Let me open another thing of beer up in this bitch. It's Pabst Blue Ribbon, people. It's the best. It's the best American lager, and it's cheap. 21.59 for a 30 rack at the good old liquor barn up in where I live. Pretty good stuff. Yeah, you know, it's just I read the article because I mean that's what I do, man. So I read my news and I get on the internet and I read a bunch of news and I just saw this and I was just like, Jesus fucking Christ. It doesn't end. It never ends with this shit. It never ends. It's the same shit over and over again. Every time someone does something violent, it's always video games. It's always the subculture of video games, you know. It's because of these old people just don't understand that they're a way of life for us millennials. You know, because it's really the millennials that are the big gamers. You know, we were kind of we're the forefounders of big gaming, of incredible gaming. I mean, the best programmers of all time are millennials, and the best games ever have been in our generation. And it's just like stupid shit over and over again. The same shit, man. You know, it's the video game's fault for some reason. I don't know how long I've been recording. I might have to end here soon. We'll do maybe a wave or two of this in the video. This is a cool little map, though. I really do like this map. Maybe I'll end this video here, and then I'll start up a new video. That's what I'm going to do. So this is going to be part 1 of this conversation. And this is the end of part 1, and part 2 is going to come right up after this. So take it easy, guys. I'll be back in part 2. The Fly 212 signing off. Rambo Ricardo. Check you later.